Good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching us. This is my Chrome homepage, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can get custom Chrome backgrounds. You would agree with me that this background looks too flat, but there's a way we can customize this. So now how do I customize this to look professional and to be exactly what I need? So to do that, you'll open a new tab, and then you'll type Chrome Web Store, and I'll be leaving the link in the description. Simply chrome.google.com, then /web store, or you can simply search Chrome Web Store, then you click on the first one. Once you get here, you'll type here bonjour with double R, and then you will get these extensions, that is Bonjour Minimalist Start Page. You will click on that. It will bring you to this page, and you click on Add to Chrome. You will click on Add Extension, and then it will bring you to this page. It will ask you, this page was changed by the Bonjour Minimalist Start Page extension. Because we want to change it, we'll click on Keep It, but if we didn't want it, we could have clicked on Change It Back. So you'll click on Keep It. So it will bring you to this page now. You notice it is still quite not so nicely done, not so nicely looking, and I would want to change this to what I want for myself. So in this case, you simply click down here where we have this cog wheel, and it opens this one for you. So under General, you are going to click on Show All Settings, and you activate that, and you now notice we have a lot of things we can change about our backgrounds. For language, I can select any language here. You notice I have all these languages. I'll stick to English. Then for the dark mode, we have the system, but we have at night. I can change that to be at night. I can change that to enabled. You notice now it's dark. This is how it will look. Then I can change that to disabled. Then I can change that to system so that it works as per the system. So that is what I can change there. Next, we can decide on the background type, and in this case it's set as dynamic. So I'll click on custom so that I can now put the background that I would want, and under frequency I'll decide how frequent my background will be changed. You notice down here we can upload a background. So in this case I'll click on upload background here, then I'll go to my PC, and on my desktop I'll upload this, my logo, to be my background. Then I'll click on open. You notice now we have a background there for JoshNet. So now I can edit that background by either increasing or reducing the blur intensity. So if I now reduce the blur intensity, you notice how my background now looks here. So if I increase that, you notice it doesn't look so nice. So I would want it to be maybe, yes, blurred, but to an extent that someone can see what it is. I can even put it at 0. I can also decide on the brightness. So if I reduce brightness to 0, you notice my background disappears. If I increase it, it becomes bright. So I'll set it to that level. Next, we go to quick links. Now quick links, these are Bonjour's bookmarks. So I'll give it the name. In this case, let me say that I want to add Facebook as a quick link here. So I'll do that, type on Facebook, then I'll put the URL. It will be facebook.com. Then I'll click on add. So you now notice Facebook has been added here. I can still add others. For instance, let me say I want to add Twitter. Then I'll do the same. I'll put the link here, twitter.com. Then I'll click on add. You notice adding here. There it is. So I can add any other, including my own personal websites. Let me add the last one. Let me add YouTube. Then down here, youtube.com. Then I'll click on add. So, and we have that. So for instance, if I want to change the image for this quick link for Facebook so that I change this icon, what do? I right click on that, and you notice we have it as Facebook, and then we have the link down here. So what do I do to this link? I'll simply change, I simply look for an icon that I feel I want it here. So, and where I get the icons is from fraticon.com, and I'll be leaving the link in the description of this video. So, if now I get to fraticon.com, I can just decide which icon do I need. I need the icon for Facebook. So, I'll type Facebook. Maybe let me go for a black one to just make sure it's very different from the one that I am currently using, which is blue. And then I'll click on copy image address. So for the black one, I click on copy image address. Then I'll come back to my site. Right click on Facebook. Then on the second part, for the image, paste the new link down here. Then I click on apply changes. You now notice my Facebook icon is black. I can do the same for Twitter. So that's how you add the quick links here, and then you can also decide on the style. We can either be large, medium, text, and so on. So let's put them medium. You notice they have changed. If I click on large, they are large. If I click on small, you notice our quick links are now small. The next one we can access here is time and date. So you can either disable that. If you notice, if now I switch that off, my clock here has disappeared. If I switch it on, my clock is back. And again, we can change a lot about our time and date. We can put it as an analog clock. So if I click on that, you notice now our clock here has changed. We can return that. We can decide, is it 24 hours then or 12 hours? Then we can decide the date to set, US date format. So for the clock face, we can only adjust this if we selected here our analog clock. But for now, even if we change this, we may not really see much change for our clock because we have only put the time. Then the clock style, again, if we had selected an analog clock here, let's say just select that. That way, we can now decide the clock face, the clock style. So let's say the style here, instead of round, let's put square. You now notice our clock is square. So that is how you can adjust that. And then time zone, you can decide whether it will be automatic or you can select any of these. So then we have the greeting name here. So if I now type here, let me type there, good morning, then I just type JoshNet. So you notice now our greetings here for the Google Chrome page has changed to good morning JoshNet, and you can always change that to anything else. So down here, we will notice we have the notes, and you can enable the notes. So for the notes here, you simply enable that here, and then you decide where will they be, on the left, center, or on the right. So in this case, I'll put them on the left. And then these are notes that you can simply double click and type. For instance, if I have a note, have a meeting at 10 a.m. in Sarova Woodlands, then that's a note that I already have. So I can put the notes here. Maybe if I do something and I've completed the first note, I can check that or uncheck. Then I can also keep on adding my notes here. So for the search bar, you notice here we don't have our search bar. So how do we activate that? We simply come here under search bar and we click on enable. And you now notice we have our search bar here. Then down here, you decide on the search engine. You can either use Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, Yahoo, and any other. So in this case, I'll go for Google. Then place text for the search here. You can put the text there. And then you can also decide on the opacity. You can also decide on the opacity of your search box. So if I increase the opacity, you notice my search box gets white. If I reduce it, it becomes almost invisible or almost clear. So I'll leave it at a point where it's visible enough, like that. Next, you can enable quotes so that once you open your Google Chrome, you're able to get quotes. You simply click on enable. And you notice now we have our quotes down here. It takes a long time to grow an old friend. You can decide what types of quotes to do. You can decide who is the author, to see the author. That's by John Leonard. You can either switch it off also if you don't want to see the author. Then the quote type, you can decide which type you want. Is it the classic, the Inspirobot, or the Camelot, or the custom? In this case, let me just select the Inspirobot so that you see the difference. Now says, say to yourself repeatedly, my mind is not gullible, my mind is not gullible. So you can decide which type of quotes you want to see here, and then you can decide on their frequency. Is it every day? Is it every hour? And finally, you can decide on the custom style, and you type in your CSS here. And this is not something that should worry you too much. You can simply go and copy it. To do that, you go to, for instance, if you go to bonjour.fr, which I'll be leaving the link in the description, you'll find that we have the CSS codes here. Like you have the CSS code, unicolor in the new meter. You have the CSS code for your clock. You have CSS code for greetings. For instance, if you want to do your own greetings for the page, you copy the whole of this CSS, and then you come back to your tab here, and you simply paste it. So you notice when I paste that, it is now your custom greeting here. So I just type that here. I'll simply come up here, your custom greeting, and I'll change that to welcome to JoshNet production. And you now notice that my greetings here have been changed so that we don't have the good morning part. So that's how you use the CSS. And of course, you can either import or export all that. So that is how you get custom Chrome background. You notice now we have our background here that looks nice. So I hope this has been helpful. Kindly like this video, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.